that are indispensable in order to stop a person from being unconstitutionally reduced in his or her intrinsic values as a human being because of a lack of material conditions needed for dignified existence. This is the thesis of the Supreme Court. It is not, because of this, it is very important that to date there have been in Mexico 4 constitutional or legislative reform initiatives introduced in order to recognize the right to a basic income. And those proposals have been based or have recuperated in a great extent the content of the Supreme Court thesis. Taking into account all of the priors I have addressed, the next great step forward in the debate around basic income was the inclusion last year of the right to basic income as a proposal in the creation of the first Constitution of Mexico City. It is a small city, as you know. This allowed for the project to be aligned with the Human Rights Constitution of 2011 in Mexico and with the emerging human rights debates around the globe in the face of the challenges of this century. In its original version, the proposal in the Constitution of Mexico City read as follows. Every person has a right to a basic income that is adequate from them and their family, as well as a continued improvement of their conditions of existence. The right to a basic income is guaranteed, with priority to people in situations of poverty and those that cannot fulfill their material needs. The wording, especially basic income, universal, generated an intense debate. One of the most intense debates in the Constitutional Assembly, due to opposition from certain political forces to the recognition of the right to basic income derived from the condition of being a person or from citizenship. The usual arguments about financial unsustainability and the desirability of the program due to possible political manipulations, thinking of it as a program and not as a right, as well as the possible negative incentives to work and personal effort were repeated. That means nothing new then. It's noteworthy that in the original wording this article recognized basic income as a right for all people, as well as including the principle of an adequate standard of living and the constant improvement of living conditions, as raised in the international instruments. However, it also included an operational element that I think watered down the strength of the recognition of the right by mentioning priorities, not exclusivity, in this implementation regarding impoverished people and those lacking their own means. These limitations notwithstanding, the recognition of basic income as a right was submitted to a vote in the Assembly and obtained, listen, 57% of the vote, a clear majority, but not the 66% majority required by the Assembly rules. This led to a round of negotiations just or even more intense than the original debates. Several alternatives were proposed by the different committees in the search of new wording. For example, Article 14, every person has a right to a basic income. Article 22, basic income will serve as a mechanism that will progressively guarantee access to a minimum basis of well-being, beginning with people in situations of poverty. This was not accepted because it mentioned income. Another proposal was made. Every person shall have the right to minimum income that will cover the various dimensions of socioeconomic well-being and contribute to a free and dignified existence. The authorities will progressively ensure its fulfillment. This was not accepted because it mentioned both a minimum income and every person. That means universality. A variant of this last proposal was crafted after further negotiations. Every person from birth shall enjoy the right of subsistence minimum that covers the various dimensions of well-being. That was not accepted because of the mention of the various dimensions of well-being and because it created a right for every person from birth. Finalmente, after several long days and facing the prospect of not reaching a two-thirds majority, the following wording was agreed upon. Article 9, dignified life. Every person, reads the article finally approved, is entitled to a vital minimum to ensure a dignified life by the terms of this Constitution. The mechanism to make the right to a vital minimum is giving priority to people in a situation of poverty will be established according to the criteria of progressiveness. The debate on basic income in Mexico City's Constitution coincides with both the Senate of the Republic and the Chamber of Deputies having proposals for a constitutional reform recognizing basic income as a right on a national level. Beyond all of this, including the right to basic income proposals within the project of the Constitution of Mexico City and the right to a vital minimum represent a key step forward in the discussion on social policy, human rights, and the social states in the 21st century. It is a debate that has taken hold, in the case of Mexico, in legislative spheres and is here to stay both in Mexico and many other countries around the world. What might have seemed a wild idea just a few years ago is now treated respectfully and considered as a rational, reasoned, and reasonable proposal that must be talked about and debated. With highs and lows, step forwards and backwards, a public debate on basic income has taken hold in Mexico and maybe is gaining momentum. It is a welcome debate that we must congratulate ourselves, but also prepare for it. A debate that is just only beginning, and that will no doubt become more intense with the same speed that changes and challenges replace each other in this time of uncertainty and hope. Thank you very much.